Parshas told us something very nice from the Rebbe's father, Rabbi Yitzchok Zatzal. In this week's Parshas, we have the whole story of Yitzchok and his servants, and they dug be'eros wells. And the Torah describes there were 4 be'eros wells in total. The first one, the servants of Yitzchok built, and there was quarreling and arguments with the Roye Geror, or the herdsmen from the city of Geror, and they called that Be'er Asek. Friction, arguments, quarreling. Then they went and they built another Be'er, and they called it Sitna. Sin, Tes, Nun, He. Enmity. Also types of quarreling and arguments, accusations. And then it says, Vayatek Misham, he removed himself from both of these Be'eros. And Yitzchok dug another Be'er, and that was called Rechoivos. That was broad. And he said, Oh, Kihirchev Hashem Lonu, Hashem made it broad for us, Ufarinu Ba'oretz, and we will flourish, we will be fruitful in this land. But then it says, Vayal Misham Be'er Shava. From there he went to Be'er Shava. And it says, there was also some issues with Avimelech, and they made an oath together, and that's why they called it, this place called Shiva. And Rashi explains Shiva from the word Shavua, on the oath. Al-Kain, therefore they called it the city called Be'er Sheva. Now Sheva in general means 7. What's the meaning over here? This Be'er of 7. And in general, what's the message for us? What's the Torah teaching us of all these Be'eros, these 4 Be'eros? The first 2, there was quarreling and arguments, accusations. The third one was called Rechoivos. And from there they went to Be'er Sheva 7. What's the meaning of all this? Now we know, it explains the Chassidus, that there's a time from the Eibishter where the Eibishter brings Chasodim, Chesed. That's generally the month of Nisan. The Eibishter did many miracles for us. But then there's a time of the year where it's more Gevura. Hashem wants that we should do our part, our avodah, similar to avodas of tshuva. And that's the time of Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, etc. And explains Rabbi Yitzchok now, if you look good, that these 4 Be'eros correspond to 4 special days in the time of Tishrei, the month of Tishrei. Because Yitzchok was the avodah from Mayim, water, but it was a way of digging where the water came up from the bottom up, milamata lamayla. It shows how Yidden, they come and become close to Hashem. So the first 2 Be'eros, there was quarreling and arguments, accusations, symbolizes the 2 days of Rosh Hashanah. It says a pasuk in Iyov, Perek Aleph, pasuk Vov, Vahi Hayoim, on that day came Bnei Elikim, and also Vayover Gam HaSatan, the Satan came. And in Targum Onkelos it explains Iyov is referring to the day of Rosh Hashanah. Yes, the Satan comes and he wants to make accusations against the Yidden. And there's a mishpat, there's a judgment in heaven. Who would win? And Chas v'shalom, he wants to bring negative things against the Yidden. And Yidden come out through shofar victoriously. But there's an argument. There's quarreling, so to say. And here's so interesting. The letters of Sitna, Sin, Tes, Nun, He, is the same letters as Hasatan. And he comes on Rosh Hashanah and Bnei Elikim. And there's argument, that's what we say also in the Haftorah of Rosh Hashanah. We say that there are Merivov. There are those who argue against Hashem, even. And Hashem Yechata, Hashem will destroy them, he will shatter them. And that's the 2 days of Rosh Hashanah. So the first two Be'eros, Asek and Sitna, symbolize the challenge that Yidden have a din of Mishpat of Rosh Hashanah, and that is the first two Be'eros. But then it says, Vayatek Misham. From there he moved on. And they built he dug the next Be'er, Rechoivos, referring to Yom Kippur. On Yom Kippur, brings down the Rebbe's father, very interesting, the Gemara. In Yuma, Tav Chof Amar Aleph says, on the word Hasatan. Hasatan adds up to 364. There are 365 days in the year. And what's the hint over here? This Hasatan, he can have some effect and some conflict with against the Yidden. 364 days of the year. One day a year, Yom Kippur, he has no shlita, he has no influence. And that's why it's called Rechoivos, in a very broad way. Here comes the brachas from the Eibishter, on Yom Kippur, this be'er, this well, with abundance in a broad way. And that's also the hint, Vayatek. Vayatek comes from the Hebrew word atik, removed. That means it's such a level where no negative force can reach to. And from there comes the brachas from the Yid. And here comes, even if a Yid didn't accomplish on Rosh Hashanah, and there's still some issues that Yom Kippur he has to overcome, as is brought down in the Zohar, and from the Arizal, Hashem gives a Yid another chance, and that's Hoshana Rabbah. And that's the last, Vayal Mishom Be'er Sheva. Be'er Sheva. And now you see why it's called seventh, because Hoshana Rabbah is the seventh day of Sukkot. So hinting over here, Be'er Sheva, the seventh, Hashem gives another chance for a Yid, that what? Vayal Mishom, you should elevate yourself to this Be'er, and all the Yidden should be gebenched with all the brachas that they need. This is the special time where a Yid reaches out to Hashem and he brings the water, he brings a lot of hashpors from the Eibishter. All the Yidden should be benched. There's so much more. If you look it up, I bring it in my Sefer, Yalkut Lev Yitzchok Al HaTorah, in Parshas Toldos. The Rebbe's father has many, many more hints to this. Just will conclude with one more. He says on the Pasuk, which says on Yom Kippur, Ki hirichim Hashem lanu farinu ba'aretz. If you look, the words Hashem lanu ufarinu ba'aretz, you'll have 4 letters. Look, Hashem is the Yud. Hirchav Hashem lanu, you have a Lamed v'lanu. Ufarinu ba'aretz, you have Vov and Veis. If you turn these letters around together, you'll get to the word Yovel. Yovel shows on the 50th year, which is the year which saw Kodesh Hashem, holy to Hashem. Also, it's removed from all mundane and physical things, which means no negative force comes there, and from there comes all the brachas from the Eibishter. This is a time of Hachove for all the Yidden. This is such a beautiful hint to all the explanations of the 4 Be'eros of Yitzchok.